Hi, folks. Larry Rolla here. My pal Jimmy, he's feeling a little under the weather today, and I told him to stay home. I know he has a fan club out there, but he'll be back. Today, my friend Tom said that I should tell a nice Christmas story. And being in the horse business for more than 60 years, we usually race on Christmas Day. It's 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So I'm not sure. I have a lot of stories that went on Christmas Day, but he says something that's that'll make people happy. So it was around 1977. This young man and his wife came to my barn, and they were looking for a job. And they had a little baby with them. And they said that they just moved up to the area, and they were working for, I think it was Skip Lewis back down at Yonkers. And I gave them a job. And they said that they would work, if I didn't have enough horses, they would work together on the 3-4 horses that I had available for somebody to take care of. And they started work, and I told my brother, just fill him in on everything. I was just much too busy doing, the routine that I was going through, all the problems that I had. And but I gave him a job. My brother showed him the ropes and everything. And it was probably about a week later, he came to me. I can't remember his name. I called up my brother and I asked my brother, and my brother couldn't remember the name neither. They were a husband and wife, relatively young, probably in their early 20s, really nice couple. And they said that they heard that I had Dr. Burton as a friend, and it must have been one of the kids that worked for me. It might have been that girl Dee. I'm not sure. Anyway, they said that their little baby, I think he was 3 years old, that he had some kind of blood cancer, leukemia or something. And he was going for treatments and everything, and he wasn't getting any better. And they asked me about Dr. Burton. And I said, listen, I says, if I were you, if he was my kid, he'd be in at Dr. Burton's clinic in the Bahamas right away. And they said that they were willing to do that, but they want to know how much it cost and everything. And I said, listen, I says, I'll make all the arrangements, just go down there. And I called up Dr. Burton, and I told him all about the kid, only 3 years old. And I told him I was sending him down there. I got him a room and the whole bit. And he said to me when they arrived that the baby was he was not in good shape, and that he might have to stay a little longer. Normally the stay is 6 weeks, and Dr. Burton said because of his age, and I guess he just treats him differently, or maybe whatever he does. He said he might have to stay a little longer, and I says, well, you keep him as long as you want, and that'll be fine. And I let the two kids know that they would be paid during this time off, not to worry about nothing, and to stay. Both of them stayed down there with their baby, and I got them the room and everything else. Well, 4 or 5 weeks later, Dr. Burton told me, and I was in touch with Dr. Burton maybe every other day. And Dr. Burton says that he's responding well in that, but he should stay a little bit longer, and that I should figure out a way how to get he wanted to send them back with some of his medicine, and it wasn't they wouldn't let him buy customs, I guess. Anyway, it was probably 7 weeks, and Dr. Burton says, I think maybe in another week or two you'd be able to send for them. And the baby's pretty good. I can't find any trace of the blood cancer or leukemia, whatever it was. And he says, so maybe in another day or two you could send for them. Now, during this time, and I think it was around 77, because I remember I had a hard time raising the money to get to them. I had to pay $16,000, $15,000 in VIG every week to that lunatic in Barney. And I was having a real tough time. And so it had to be around 77, 76 and a half. But I managed to get them. They were staying at they were staying at the Raceway Motel. It was on top of the hill at Monticello. And while they were gone, after about 4 or 5 weeks, Dr. Burton says the kid's doing well. I think he's going to be fine. And I find no traces anymore in his blood or anything. And so I bought them a double wide trailer at Kinnybrook, right across, at Brookside. Kinnybrook. I lived in Brookside. I got them a double wide trailer, and I set the whole trailer. Naturally, the trailer comes with furniture and everything, but I set up one little kid's room with all kinds of toys and stuff. It was a little boy. And I set everything up for them. I bought them a car. The car that they had, it needed about $1,500 worth of repairs. So I just bought them another car, and I had it put in right next to the trailer. I blacktopped the little area, and it was right around the beginning, maybe the middle of December, because I know I told Gina to go and put together a Christmas tree and the whole bit, just make it nice for them. And I picked them up at the airport right around in maybe middle of December. And I brought them to the house. I gave them the key to the trailer. I gave them the key to the car. And they both start crying and thanking me. And that was the end of the story. It turned out well for them. They had a great Christmas. I wind up staying there for another 2 years. They continued working for me during that time. And then it was maybe a year later, I was granted stalls at the Meadowlands, and I left, and I shipped everything to the Meadowlands, and but I made sure that they both had jobs up there. I wish I could remember their names, but I don't. I called my brother, he don't. And this just was sprung on me the last minute by Tom. He says, tell a nice Christmas story with a happy ending. And when I left, I kept track of them for a while, and the kid was doing great, and they were doing great, and that's my Christmas story. So for all the people out there that think I only did bad things, I did a few good things too. I just don't talk about them, and I don't talk about the women in my life. So them are the two things. So on behalf of Jimmy, myself, Tom, Shaman, and everybody else that helped me through this year and this podcast, on behalf of all of them, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next week.